Just remind me in a break. It's 5:05 here on 92.5 Fox News. Trey Riddle, your host of The Drive. We'll take your calls on anything related to the Chauvin-Floyd case. I won't start with this, though. I know, Ian, when you cut some of these, you get a little bit of a chance to listen to the insanity that comes out of Speaker Pelosi's mouth. Katrina, wait till you hear it. It's a doozy. What you're about to hear is, just like Joe Biden, a clearly mentally degraded person that's in charge of running our country, who had some words to say after the verdict came down on Chauvin. And the words are about George Floyd. I don't care how you feel about the verdict. George Floyd was still a man, a father, a son. He had people who loved him, including his family, and he's dead. And even if you don't agree with all three charges against Chauvin, Chauvin clearly crossed the line. Clearly. And the jury that heard that intricately for 3 weeks decided so. And watching the video is a painful thing to do as you watch it unfold. And even the rookie officers asking, maybe you should put him on his side, maybe you should do something here. George Floyd is dead. Here is Speaker Nancy Pelosi right after the verdict. Again, Ian, I can't. Oh. Just play the beginning part of that again. This is, to use a term that has gained popularity in the past couple of years, cringeworthy, but it really is beyond that. It's heartbreaking that Nancy Pelosi would even say this. It is disgusting. Just the first few parts here. Go ahead. Uh, all right. Are you kidding me? That this is watching a senile woman who clearly has issues exactly like Joe Biden. Her mental capacity is degraded. Her mental faculties are not functioning. This is a dude who's dead. And she's like, hey, thank you. Even the tone of her voice. I mean, that could just be one thing that you could look at. The tone of her voice. That's what, thank you, George. Hey, just wanted to say, to the guy that's dead, shout out. Woo, woo. It's unbelievable. And then she goes, oh, we just wanted to thank you for calling out to your mom. If you've watched that video, you know right there that she has not. And it's horrifying for her to say that. But why is Nancy Pelosi thanking George Floyd? She's thanking him because he's being utilized to further a political agenda. No question about it. Exactly like COVID. I'm jaded as hell when it comes to politics, and I could sit here and remove my emotion and tell you how Democrats and Republicans will undoubtedly take advantage of situations to further political agendas. No doubt in my mind. Take a look at what the Bush-Cheney administration did during 9/11. No doubt in my mind. This is a, I don't even, it's like not even a new low, right? We're always seeing new lows. That's overused because everything is low. Everything is pretty disgusting and pretty terrible. I think the striking part for me to hear Nancy Pelosi do that is not that she is obviously disrespecting the grave of a dead man. That's one thing, but it's just how crystal clear she is about, hey, what's up? I just wanted to thank him because I can get all this stuff done now. I'm the speaker. Yay! We just want to thank you, George. Now we can implement everything that we wanted. We can placate my insane base. Nancy Pelosi, by the way, is, believe it or not, a moderate compared to the men and women that she's serving with in Congress right now. Those are true radicals. And as the Speaker of the House, she knows that she has to placate each and every one of them if she wants to remain in power. Nancy Pelosi, just like Joe Biden, hear me on this. They both want to die in office. These two care nothing about what they're doing, but about their legacy. And they will do anything at any cost to save it. Joe Biden, I don't think had any interest in governing. Certainly didn't in campaigning. COVID was a blessing for the man. This is about his legacy. And that is why people like Pelosi and Biden, who if you were to look at their policy philosophies, even just 10 years ago, they would be radically different from what you're looking at today. They will do anything at all to maintain power, to try to keep this legacy that they feel is going to do so well for the American public while your cities burn. Nancy Pelosi is happy about that. Phone number is 239-479-5592. 239-479-5592. A text coming in that is kind of like the rant I'm on right now. Dark, maybe humorous, true as hell. Derek from California saying, thank you, COVID. Thank you, COVID, for giving me my dictatorial powers. Remember when you killed all those old people? How sad was that? So sad, right? By the way, Derek, I gotta say for the first time that I'm kind of hearing Nancy Pelosi's California-ish accent in all of that. Thank you, COVID, for giving the Democrats more power. Me, Nancy. 239-479-5592 is the phone number. Let me go to Gil in Fort Myers. Hey, Gil, you're on the drive. Hey, what's up, Gil? Gil, I hear you, and what you're talking about is the resisting part of this. Um, I will say, this is going to rub some people the wrong way, that that does not excuse Chauvin, right? 9 minutes. Go watch the video, listen to the even rookie cops, and the jury came to the decision that it wasn't just manslaughter, that it was second and third degree murder. Uh, the, the Chauvin, by the way, my take on that, again, I've watched the video too much. And I will say, I'm always open to criticism. Maybe that clouds my judgment because I get emotional over it. Not that I'm not that emotional. I mean, look, I've seen a lot of stuff. I grew up in the funeral industry. I've seen horrible things. I mean, horrible. But I just click 9 minutes. Do a timer on your phone and just sit there for 9 minutes. When you watch Chauvin, I think that look, this is me now openly armchair quarterbacking, trying to assess, take a look into his psyche. And I have no business, no experience doing so. The jury's done. The trial is done for now. We'll see an appeal whether or not Maxine Waters gets, if she's culpable for a mistrial. I think she should be. We can debate all that later. I think in part Chauvin was scared. And I think in part it was ego. That he was there and he had Floyd below his knee and he had other people around there telling him, get off of him. And I think you could see how both a mix of fear and ego could play into that. Fear in the way that, well, what if I do get up? If there's more resisting, if I get into another scuffle, are the officers there to back me up? They were rookies, by the way. You had two people there who were on the first week of their job, right? So you've got fear and then the ego component to it, which is all good here. I've got my suspect under control. My suspect's good. You don't need to tell me how to police. You don't need to tell me what to do or how to do my job. Again, you go back to the fear part where, well, what if you break in front of these people? What if I essentially, I hate to use this type of a word, I'm going to comply with what they're pushing for, what the mob is pushing for. Fear, ego. I'm not going to let them tell me what to do. That's my take. I have no idea. It's just the way that I saw it. I've watched it. I followed the case as closely as I could. And as yesterday we did at this time, I really, throughout all of this, tried to make an effort to understand that second and third degree, those two charges. And again, what the jury came to was this was more than manslaughter, that Chauvin acted recklessly. And so again, I think that the clearest way to explain that I got out of our conversation yesterday with Spencer Cordell, the attorney that we had on, was utilizing the example of a car accident, right? If you get into a car accident and it's just an accident, okay? You didn't do anything bad, there was nothing malicious, nothing, it's an accident. There are still ways that you could get punished for that if you severely hurt someone or kill somebody. And that in the state of Florida is called manslaughter. Now, that manslaughter charge can be enhanced if there's more to it than just the accident. You're driving, you're blowing through red lights, you're doing, 65 and a 35, and you then have an accident. It's still an accident. You didn't mean to go target that car and severely maim anyone or kill anyone, but there are some consequences for the actions, and that's the way that I understood the way that the jury came to their decision yesterday. Please. Yep. Roll them over. Yep. Yep. Well, juries will decide that as well. I will tell you that the mobs are out for blood on two cops that were there for 1 week. As I understood, it was there are two of them that it was their first week. First week. Yeah. Yep. We're going to take a break here. Hey, those of you streaming us, I am seeing that you can't hear Ian. I don't know. For some reason, they say that they can't hear your audio. So we'll take care of that. We'll see what we can do. Phone lines are open 239-479-5592. I don't know, man. I'm just looking at what Cassie and Brady and others are telling us. Phone number is 239-479-5592. When we come back, how this now, segueing directly from Pelosi, thanking George Floyd. Thanks, George. Thanks. Totes cool. We will segue into how this will be used politically. I'm Trey Radel. This is The Drive. Be right back. I don't know. Is this the usual plug here?
Yeah,
This thing?
yeah, and there's no way for me to make what they just said is happening happen. I can't even make what they just said happen. This plug comes right out of program. Your plug we can affect by the buttons over there. These four plugs come right off the program board.
Can you talk to them?
Yeah, I can talk to them on the intercom for this plug.
But that
shouldn't affect them hearing me in program.
Is there anything, if you turn it up loud enough, you can. Can your volume be adjusted on output?
We sounded balanced in our ears.
Yeah.
I'll bring it up just a little. It's so rare that people can't hear me.
I think your wife's calling. I don't know. I'm not going to get too caught up in it. Hey, Ian, I know we got a bunch of calls coming in. Oh, great. Well, YouTube, I've got it on Facebook and Twitch. Can she watch on Facebook? And I'm not going to spend much time on it. I know I'm going to go long on this because I've got two calls I'm going to get to. 524 here on 92.5 Fox News, Trey Radio, your host of The Drive here. Let's get to some calls here. Joe in Naples. We've got lots of Joes and Johns and Bills and people that change their name when they call. Hey, I'm just messing around. This is actually Joe. What's up, Joe? I don't. So he was in cuffs. Look, I what I tried to go into was what I believed happened with the psyche of Chauvin. And look, this is talk radio, okay? I prefaced everything I said with I have no idea what I'm talking about. There are a lot of things. There are a lot of things I know about. I think that I usually am a pretty good read on people. That's why I've had a little bit of success in some of the things that I've done. But you know, I just I mhm. Yeah, like Maxine Waters, who called for California to burn down even 30 years ago with Rodney King and tried to do the same in Minneapolis. I'm with you. But if they did, Joe, I want to be clear about that. If they did, if there's any indication whatsoever that they did, this could very well be declared a mistrial. It happens. It happens, and in fact, it did right here in Southwest Florida with an infamous case from years ago called the Gateway Murders. There's a mistrial. Whether or not it does, I don't know. But I think that something should happen to Maxine Waters, but the Democrats aren't going to let that. They're not going to let that happen. And the media is not going to do anything to Maxine Waters, who's one of the most powerful members of Congress and an African American woman who that the media simply won't pick on. John in Naples. Go ahead, John. I'm sorry, what's up? Yeah, look, with the talk about qualified immunity going away as well, that segues me right into something that happened just roughly at the time that that conviction was coming down in Ohio, in Columbus. A law enforcement officer body cam released today showing this exactly, where a young black 13-year-old black girl was wielding a knife about to stab another girl, 16-year-old, sorry, thank you. And again, the officer has a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a second to make a decision. The way that I see qualified immunity in that is let her stab the other young black girl and get sued from the victim's family, meaning the girl who got stabbed, shoot and stop the perpetrator from stabbing other people and still get sued by that family. It is ridiculous, and as the last caller just illustrated, they're just not going to be people who want to do the job at all. They just aren't, and that becomes a scary situation for everyone. Phone number is 239-479-5592. I'm Trey Radel. This is The Drive. We'll be right back. What's up, man?
Nothing, checking on you.
Okay, good deal.
Oh, good, dude. What's new?
I can't think of anything. LeBron James had to take down his tweets.
What?
LeBron James had to take down his tweets.
I didn't know this. What happened
He
today?
put up the cop that shot.
What?
He put up a tweet of the cop that shot the girl yesterday and just wrote, "You're next."
Oh my God! Did Twitter remove him?
No,
Who?
he I think I removed LeBron James. Who are you kidding?
Oh, I'm looking at it. That's what is. I think. I don't know if. Yep, there. It's unavailable.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Brad Dotson texting me, man. Streaming audio not coming from the board. Dude, Brad Dotson, Brad at the desk here says streaming audio is not coming from the board. It's almost like it's picking you up from a mic on the computer.
Your mic feed's wrong. That's what's wrong.
What?
Which means they're hearing you in breaks. The mic feed is bad. It must be, the mic feed for, it must be on a microphone on the camera. You can look at the feed for that microphone. My lord. I had no idea that you could change like that.
It's gonna be a setting in the computer for where your audio comes from. The audio needs to come from the computer sound card and not from the camera source. If I knew anything about that system or Apple, I would help you, but I don't. Do you want me to see if I can get Drew?
I think want me to ask one of the guys out here.
I'm looking right now. No, I know. So output, input. Watch this. Let me try this.
See it.
Hey, can you hear me? Though anybody streaming right now? Can you hear me? But can anybody hear me right now that's watching? We're in a break right now, and I'm curious if you can hear me. In fact, I don't even think I need this. I think that the speakers check. Yeah, there it is. This is so weird. Let me try this. Thank you. Good call. Check. Okay. Y'all are almost listening to me run my mouth during breaks. Huh.
Yeah, it's a mic on the camera.
Yeah, that's picking me up.
There's gotta be a setting in there for where
I'm
you want
looking
it.
at sound
It's
input.
gonna be a mute.
Huh. So. All right. How about now? Can you hear me now?
Let
Can
me know if it
anyone
goes
hear me
back to
now?
the spot.
Check. See, it's getting it.
No, you're still on audio. I can still hear you.
And it's off the GoPro. Let me ask Mike, our GoPro expert. Want me to ask?
No,
It's
no.
gonna be a setting in the program that's broadcasting it over the internet. It's gonna be where the feed is taken from.
Yeah, I'm looking. It's just gonna take time though. I don't know.
They just can't hear the callers, the
Yeah,
sounds.
you hear, those of you listening right now, you're not gonna be able to
It
hear
was like that day you were at your house.
anything. I don't. What?
It was like that one day at your house.
Yeah, let me try your preferences. Let me try this. Audio. System default. I don't know. Sorry, everybody. I'm back on air right now. We'll try again. It's 5:35 here on 92.5 Fox News. Street Radio, your host of The Drive. For those of you streaming us, well, I don't know what the deal is. Usually you just hear what's going through the microphone. My microphone, Ian here. Those of you streaming us, you can take a look at Ian Katrina over there. Rich Kolko's behind them. You hear what's going on with the microphones, but for some reason there's some glitch and the computer is picking me up. And man, am I lucky I wasn't running my mouth during commercials. Excuse me. I'll be open with you. I have a colorful vocabulary that I don't use on the air, and wow, that was close. So not that it would have been any big deal, but so for those of you streaming us, somebody wrote you didn't cuss, and I'm disappointed. So if you're streaming us, you just have to deal with this kind of hollow sounding stuff. You can always go to 925foxnews.com and have the audio streamed directly from there. But if you want to watch my ugly mug, I don't know, you do both at the same time. I wonder if they'd sync up. Probably not. I don't know. Good luck with that. We'll try and figure it out during a break. We got a radio show to do though, people. Yeah, it's like one of those old school kung fu movies. I come to kill you. All right. I want to, you know what, let me get to a call first. Michael's been holding very patiently, and then we're going to talk about a radical subject, which is it's okay to be white. Let's go to Michael in the Cape. What's up, Michael? Hey there. Yep. It's different day and age. It's just there are many answers to what you've just asked that show how fragmented, not only like we know how fragmented society is with the advancements of technology and everything from like, you know, look, several decades ago, there were how many billions of people, I don't know, I know it's not the billions, but millions of people that watched the Seinfeld final episode. There were MASH, millions and millions of people, and people would talk about MASH. I didn't even watch MASH. It was before my time. I was very young. But people would go on the radio, on talk radio, and they'd talk about MASH or Seinfeld. Did you see that? And now Everything is completely divided. I promise I'm coming back to politics here. I'm on a little bit of a rant. Hang with me here, Michael, in the Cape, because this we're going to do some dodging and weaving. It all comes to this. Society is completely fragmented, and we live in our own echo chambers. And that could be from something as simple as nobody watches one TV show anymore to a bunch of people. Some people watch this on Netflix, others over on Hulu, others only do Amazon. That's just television. Let's now go to music. Do the Billboard charts even matter anymore? Can anybody name one top 10 song from like the last 5 years? And no, because I've got Spotify and it just feeds me what I want. No, I'm just streaming on Apple and it gives me what I want. I have my choices. I've got my own little echo chamber that I live in there. And then when you want to get the news, well, you've got some search engines you might use. Predominantly, everybody uses Google. Other people will even get their news from Facebook. But those pieces of software within those companies, those bots and algorithms, are feeding you stuff that they know that you only want. You don't want to read some article from MSNBC, the communists over there. You don't want National Pinko Radio. You want your red meat from Fox News. And it's going to give you your Fox News and your Tucker and your Bannon. But there's somebody just like you that is there, and all they're getting is Rachel Maddow. Give me Rachel Maddow 24/7. Give me the communists at MSNBC. We need socialism right now. And that's all they know. That's all they hear. And all they're hearing, by the way, is systemic racism. White people are evil, which, by the way, people, I swear to God, that's the next segment that I'm going to get to. But I'm still hanging here with Michael. Now let's bring it to Congress, Michael. To go to what you just said, a unified banner. I present you Matt Gaetz and AOC. And what those two represent, I'm not saying that this is good or bad in any way, shape, or form. I'm just telling you how things are right now. What Matt Gaetz and AOC are the culmination of what's been happening in about the last 10 years in Congress, which is, I don't need leadership. I don't need you to raise money for me. You're not going to tell me what to do. You're not going to tell me what to say. I run the way that I want to run, and you don't have a damn thing that you can do about it. The way it used to be back in the days when there were the McConnells and Boehners of the world and Newt Gingrich, who would beat the crap out of them, figuratively speaking, with a whip, again, figuratively and kind of literally speaking. I hope you're with me on that stupid joke. The whip would come and say, you better vote this way or else we're not going to give you your committees. We're not going to do this. We're not going to fundraise for you. And now no one cares. Why? I go back in reverse now to Facebook, Google, the news channels, and every little tiny echo chamber that people are living in, and that's all they want to or need to appeal to, and that's where they raise their money from, and that's all they care about. And so when you have everything so fragmented, and you've got members of Congress, in either the House or the Senate, they don't care about a unified message. They will say what they want when they want. And that's why Mitt Romney, who has no spine whatsoever, who has no sense of unity with the Republican whatsoever, with the Republican Party, does what he does. But you also have renegades like an AOC who will do what she wants and doesn't give a damn whether or not it affects general elections. And a great example of how she did disaffect a general election is in South Florida, where Cuban Americans overwhelmingly rejected socialist policy of the left and booted out two incumbents in Congress and replaced them with new people. That's one really long ass answer, Michael. I say all that to bring it back to something that I hope can be semi-positive here. We've got 2022 coming around the corner. Everybody's already talking about 24, Ron DeSantis. Well, who's going to run for president? Trump, 24, is he going to run? Listen, if we do not focus on getting conservatives elected to the House and Senate, hopefully taking back the House and the Senate by one vote, we're in a lot of trouble. I think that the country is, my biggest fear right now, and I'm about to get into this, is the policies of the country are pretty terrible. And the Democrats are going to do what they can to retain control for a long time. They're trying to make DC a state. They're trying to pack the court. I don't know if those will go through because I think that they, by talking about this, see that they may actually face some repercussions in 22. America pushing back, saying the Democrats, did what they do, and when they all take over and they went too far. But the biggest fear that I have, Michael, to go to all of those echo chambers of the MSNBCs, the New York Times, the Washington Post, the NPR, and even the Yahoos of the Yahoo News, Huffington Post, and really even Hollywood and more. My fear is the culture of the country, and that scares the absolute hell out of me. And Michael, I swear to God, I'm finishing right now. I promise, dude. All of that, I was going to get into anyway, which is the fallout from this Floyd case. And what it is now the Democrats are utilizing it not just for political gain in terms of policy, but culturally. And culturally, they're having a lot of success in horrible ways that are terrible for the country. That's what I got for you, dude. Please, show's yours. I think that Donald Trump did a hell of a job with at the beginning, a very clear and cohesive message. I think, unfortunately, now this is me politically assessing, and anytime I do it, even if I sit here and tell everyone, like, yeah, of course, I adore Trump and am so heartbroken by his loss. I'm just politically assessing right now. When you look at his campaign, it got thrown off by COVID. I know, I get how obvious that is. But when you look at the home stretch of any campaign, it's about the last 60 days. And that's one of the most important focal points for a campaign. And it can even be like the last 30 days. And as strange as what I'm about to say sounds to you and I, that's when Americans just start paying attention. Think about that. Like, we've got years of incredible progress under the Trump administration. The economy is killing it. We're doing great. COVID hits. Trump had handled it in some questionable ways. I get the corner he was put into. I'm with you on all of that. But when you look at like the last 30 days, does anyone out there listening realize that Trump was focused on Hunter frickin' Biden? Nobody cares. No one cared. Now, I say that though, to now, again, Michael, bring myself back in to talk about the positives that I think Republicans should learn from, derive from Donald Trump, the candidate, and Donald Trump, the president. And that was that he didn't sit there and try and placate, like Democrats do, each and every ethnicity and people who were in different social spheres and this and that. His message was pretty consistent. America kicks ass. We need to keep kicking ass. I want you to have a job and kick ass, and we're going to kick ass together. And he didn't use those words. It was winning. And it was just about, the economy booming, having a job, and being proud of this country. I think that Republicans can reclaim that. And in doing so, when they don't try to placate everybody, you see what Trump did, and that was win over more minorities than any modern day presidential candidate in any time in recent American history. All of that is really good stuff. Whether or not Republicans learn, time will tell. We got to take a break. When we come back, it's okay to be white. Now we will switch from the Floyd case, the Chauvin-Floyd case, into the politics of it, and how Democrats utilize it. I'm Trey Radel. This is Drive. Be right back. All right. Let me, if you're listening, if you tell first of all, again, can you hear me right now? Let me know. It comes up just a little bit after I ask that. Can you hear me right now? I don't even need this. Can you hear me? Yes. All right. Thank you, Brandon. All right. Yeah. So, I don't know. I'm looking at where the. So, no, whatever. No, it's not that big of a deal. Can you even hear me? I'm like talking to you, like you. I'm over here to everybody for you streaming as I'm talking to Ian through a plate of glass this thick, like he can hear me. Let's see. This is so weird. So audio system default. Let's see here.
There's got to be just a place where you select the audio.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah. Okay, right here, select that.
Yeah, that's all that comes up, which is weird. So
It's an
let me take a
apple,
look
that's
at.
why. Here, I got my dig in.
Audio. So
Eight hundred 501-3939. 800-501-3939. 800-501-3939.
92.5 Fox News proudly presents The Plot Against the President, showing at the Silver Spot Theater at Mercado in Naples, Thursday, April 29th. Featuring live and in person, California Congressman Devin Nunes, Kash Patel, Jack Langer, and producer Amanda Milius. The Plot Against the President is presented by Alfie Townshend and Advantage Retirement Group, PlantationShuttersForYou.com. Keep listening to 92.5 Fox News for details.
Let me get right back to you. Sandra, those banners go out tonight. Can you pack them?
Indeed knows unexpected growth can stretch your business thin.
On machine 4?
Like at Monica's print shop. To fulfill orders on time, she needs to get started hiring right away.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. And the moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from our resume database. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get a $75 credit for your first sponsored job post. Terms and conditions apply.
Trey Rabel is on 92.5 Fox News.
Trey Radel, your host of The Drive here. Hey, if you are streaming us, apparently the audio is correct now, but now you can't see me. You just have the, what are called rainbow test bars up.
So what do you want, both audio and video at the same
come
time?
on,
I mean,
people.
come on. This is radio. We're only used to one at a time.
Actually, if you are streaming us first, I'd ask, can you hear Ian? Let me know there, and I'm going to try to get the camera working again here in a second. We'll try to fix that. Thank you for your patience. Jim in Fort Myers. Hey, Jim, you're on The Drive.
Yeah, you made a statement before your commercial break that Trump did something wrong when that virus come out. Trump.
See, this is what.
No, let me finish. Trump had people that he thought knew what they were doing and they were right because he knew nothing about it. He was a virgin. He knew nothing about it. So he took their years of expertise and he put it in action. What you insinuated was that he screwed up. No, he screwed up trusting people that's supposed to be knowing what their job is. So that was so wrong. It's unbelievable. I mean, you can't expect a builder to be a doctor. So he has to take the advice of people that supposedly know what they're talking about. So where did he screw up? Tell me?
Yeah. So I think it was actually more in the communicating of it. It was in terms of the policy. I love what the policy was. I think that Donald Trump could have communicated that policy in a much better way, very similar to how Ron DeSantis did. And the way that I've sort of paraphrased that over the past year now is something like this. Like, I am not a dictator. Either in Tallahassee or Washington, D.C. I think that you and your local elected officials, whether it's your governor to your members of city council, know what the best decisions are for your state and for your communities. And I'm not going to do a power grab here, one size fits all, shut down the country or start mandating anything. And unfortunately, instead, we had things like my God, now I'm trying to rehash what Trump was doing when it first set in, that it's all fake, it's all this and that. And it just the messaging of it is my issue. And in fact, what you're talking, we're talking apples and oranges. You're talking about that he followed the advice of his top-notch people. The reality is he didn't, and I'm thankful he didn't, because those people like Fauci were ridiculous and wrong, and time has proven that over and over and over. Really, what I'm getting at is the communication of it. Which is one of the most critical things that you can do when you're handling either a pandemic. You instill calm in people. And look, let's be frank, Trump's he's more paternal, not maternal, okay? And nobody should expect Donald Trump to come out and start talking, reading us Maya Angelou frickin' poems or comforting a puppy on his lap while he talks to us. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that there's a ton of people who thought that he didn't handle it in the right ways because of how he communicated it. Communication is the key when you're campaigning, and there's no doubt that even in that last year of COVID hitting the world, that you got to be able to communicate because it is part of the campaign. And what I really focused on, though, Jim, was the last 30 days. If you recall, I said the last 30 days are when Americans really start paying attention to elections. And instead of focusing on all of the incredible things that the Trump administration had accomplished, the job creation, the way that we were getting through COVID, the way that the vaccine was on its way and all of that, instead you got freaking Rudy Giuliani dominating the airwaves talking about Hunter Biden. And nobody gives a darn about Hunter Biden. No one cares. Still today, the guy's talking about snorting freaking Parmesan cheese off of his carpet. And no one cares. I'm a little upset because it upsets me that all that happened in the way it went down. And it shouldn't have. Trump should have won.
If I remember right,
you got him turned.
A month or so, he was saying, open up the cities, open up the states. I might be wrong, but
no, some of the top campaign issues that they began, that him and his surrogates directly under the direction of a guy by the name of Bill I'm having a brain fart. Ford will be on. He'd know the name in a heartbeat. That they pushed all of this. Joe Biden is senile, and Hunter Biden and the Bidens are wrapped up with China. And no matter what election cycle we're talking about, that's just not something that works. The senility part, I understand. Maybe you could pull that off. But 99% of Americans, maybe not that high, but they don't even know where Ukraine is. They don't care about Hunter Biden going to the Ukraine. What's a Ukraine? What type of crane is that? What does it carry? How much of a load? no one. So again, I get upset when I talk about it because I just think, unfortunately, his campaign team did him wrong. But that's that. I got to go. We got to take a break. We're going to go to the 6 o'clock hour up next. I'll try and fix these beautiful color bars for those of you streaming us. I'm Trey Radel. This is The Drive. 6 o'clock hour up next. Be right back.
5 Fox News.
Sometimes in business, the unexpected comes calling. From rent increases to increased orders to, I'm going to say it, unprecedented times. But don't bounce back. Bounce forward with Comcast Business. Bounce forward with fast, reliable internet on the network that can deliver gig speeds to the most businesses and gives you the flexibility to update your bandwidth in just a few clicks. Be fast, be flexible, be ready for what's next, and bounce forward with Comcast Business. Help your business bounce forward with this amazing offer. Get started with a powerful and reliable internet and voice solution from Comcast Business, starting at just $35 each a month for 24 months for 2 years when you buy both. Call 1-800-501-6000 or go to ComcastBusiness.com today to find out more. Restrictions apply. Limited to new Comcast Business 35 megabits per second internet and one voice mobility customers. Early termination fee applies. Enrollment in EcoBill and autopay required. Call for details.
Before a disaster turns your family's world upside down, it's up to you to be ready.
Hi, this is Earl Ron. I'm the president of New South Window Solutions. What I like people to understand about our company is what's unique about us. We manufacture, we install, we guarantee. We go out of our way to make it easy. If you're thinking about buying new windows, consider New South. And don't even think about hiring a middleman until you see what our factory can do for you. New South windows are made in Florida, for Florida homes, by Florida workers.
Going on now, save 35% off factory direct windows and doors. Call 1-800-NEW-WINDOWS.
Wink Weather Authority.
For early this evening, a few lingering isolated showers are possible, but eventually wrapping up as some slightly cooler and drier air comes in from the north. Plenty of sunshine, few passing clouds for your Thursday with the lower humidity. It's going to be a warm one after the cooler start. Temperatures will be topping out in the mid to upper 80s. A few isolated showers possible for your Friday. Temperatures upper 80s and flirting with 90. Mixture of sunshine and clouds for your Saturday and breezy. Chance of rain on Sunday and more warm weather. Upper 80s to near 90 for all of next week. With Wink News, I'm Chief Meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Hi, everyone. I'm Miss America 2020 Camille Schreier. Join me in support of the DEA's National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, Saturday, April 24th. Please get rid of the unused or expired prescriptions in your medicine cabinet. They could end up lost, stolen, or simply misused. Protect your family and our communities, and let's all keep prescription drugs out of the wrong hands. Keep them safe, clean them out, take them back. Find a collection site near you at DEATakeback.com. That's DEATakeback.com.
Hello, I'm a unicorn. Yes, one of those. Everyone's tried to find me, but most can't, unless there's ZipRecruiter. If you've hired before, you understand it's quite hard to find a unicorn. You know, someone who's perfect for your role. So how does ZipRecruiter do it so quickly? ZipRecruiter's technology matches your job up with the right people for your role and invites them to apply, so you get brilliant candidates fast.
Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
So you say the time has finally come. It's here. I can't do it anymore. I can't have my water in my house smelling like chlorine. I just gotta stop. I can't handle the hard water stains around my faucets and my shower glass. Make it stop. The water drying out your skin and your hair. Listen, you can. Just make the call. Call right now for your free Pentair water test. Pelican is now Pentair Water Solutions, the pros. And the number is 239-880-7799. Look, chlorine, ugly lime scale, iron. You can do something right now. Give Max a call, a uniformed Pentair water specialist, and he can find and handle your city or well water issues. We know we have them here in Southwest Florida. And look, with the mobile showroom, you can see for yourself that Pentair has both high-performance salt systems and the salt-free solution, too. And salt-free means no lugging in bags of salt. And they can even install your Pentair water system for you. And I'm telling you, you are going to love the way your water tastes from every single faucet and the peace of mind that only a Pentair water system can give you. So call now. Get your free water test. Give Max a call at 239-880-7799 or book online at PelicanWestFL.com.
NCH Heart Institute is home to the most experienced and most dedicated team of physicians and nurses in Southwest Florida. Over the past 30 years, NCH Heart Institute has mastered the quality, the care, and the holistic patient experience that can only be found within a nationally ranked heart institute. Caring for a patient, mind, heart, and body. That's the cornerstone of our critical care team, which ranks in the top 2% of all hospitals in America. NCH Heart Institute, at the heart of what matters most.
This is 92.5 Fox News. This is The Drive with Trey Radel.
6:05 here on 92.5 Fox News. Trey Radel, your host of The Drive. I hope we have all of our issues fixed for those of you who are streaming us. We have pictures and video, which is pretty good. At the same time, which is what you're hopefully supposed to do during all of this. Hello to those of you listening on radio, visualizing what my face looks like while I speak. Trey Radel here. A face for radio and a voice for print. Let's take a listen to the cultural fallout after George Floyd here and what I think is going to happen. Here is a classic. Don Lemon on CNN, who wastes no time at all in pimping out his book to educate America. He's on the morning show, and they're asking him, Don, you are a black male. Just tell us, what do we need to do? By the way, the guy asking is Chris Berman, who's not exactly an alpha male kind of guy. Hey, tell me, what do I need to do? I know how guilty I am. Don Lemon, please talk to me.
At least he's trying. So listen, we all need to be held accountable. We all need to do the work. We all need to figure this whole thing out. But I don't want to castigate someone for at least trying to do the right thing, even if it may be done in ignorance. I don't think it was harmful.
Do you have a book you could recommend to white people if they're looking for ways to discuss?
Actually, I have two books to recommend. I would recommend that everyone reads The Fire Next Time by James Baldwin, which offers people grace even when they mess up or you think that they did something wrong, like the white owner of that team. And then I would recommend a book that comes after that by this author named Don Lemon, who says, this is the fire that we are in right now.
I mean, that's some shameless stuff, right? It gets worse. I want to talk about what they were talking about. And that was the Los Angeles Raiders. I'm sorry, Las Vegas Raiders. Look at me. I just went back like I went back like 10 years ago, whatever it was. They went from LA to Oakland. Now they're Vegas. The NFL team, the Raiders, those iconic uniforms, still some of the best in the league. They tweeted out, "We can breathe." How tasteless is that? George Floyd's dying words were, "I can't breathe." And the Raiders, the football team, the official account of your Las Vegas Raiders, says, "We can breathe." We can breathe. I don't even know how we can breathe. We can breathe. I don't know what it is. I want to remind you that every time that you see one of these corporations or entire industries doing something on social media, this is what they're saying. George Floyd died. That's terrible. Buy my shoot. Come buy my stuff. There's no way around it. These are private entities. Look, I get how Raiders teams and the Raiders and all these NFL teams get funding and blah, blah, blah. But look, Apple doesn't. Apple's not taking your dollar. Private entity, Netflix, all of their blackouts, tweets. We're black. We're just doing a big tweet that's a picture of just nothing but black. Why? It's just black awareness. And by the way, the people that come up with are usually like 11 teen-year-olds, specifically from Brooklyn, who go into the city, into Manhattan, to their midtown office that's 50 stories high with a bunch of other white people led by some old white guy or white woman, and they come up with these snappy phrases. And then they tweet them out, and they put them on Instagram, and then they say, let's do a TikTok. And all it is, hey, I'm virtue signaling here. None of this stuff matters, but I want you to buy my stuff. So what I'm going to do is take a dying man's words, flip them, which actually came from the brother. The brother said that. We're going to take those words and promote our team, the Las Vegas Raiders. I mean, it gets so sick. It's like what I imagine happening next is why not do entire campaigns? So we could probably guesstimate that. I will say I'm shocked that there were no riots last night in Minneapolis. I think the media is very disappointed about that because they wanted to have, visuals of fires burning while they called them mostly peaceful protesters. They're still getting the clicks. They're still getting ratings of people who want to tune in and see the fires burning. They want to see the violence and et cetera. But let's say that there is another riot that happens in Minneapolis, perhaps at the sentencing of Chauvin. I'm going to put that odds at pretty high. And it's like, hey, windows bashed out in the last riot? We stand with Black Lives Matter. Give us a call over here at Acme Windows. We'll install anything you need. Glass all over the floor? I've got the perfect product. The new, powerful Acme vacuum. Give us a shout, Black Lives Matter. When you speak in that voice, you can kind of say anything you want. Hey, is your building burning? I've got the hottest new seasons, riot seasons, fire extinguishers. Come on down. Buy them now. Fire extinguishers. Look what we've pasted on the side of it. Hashtag BLM. Say her name. Come buy them now. It's riot season. Fire extinguishers for sale. And that's no different from what the frickin' Las Vegas Raiders are doing. Or any of these people who do the virtue signaling. Virtue signaling. Doing something, saying something to get other people to think that you believe or care about something. And you know, by the way, where that's ground zero right now, something that just happened, is Major League Baseball. Major League Baseball pulled out of Atlanta for the All-Star game, as you may recall, because of what they called Georgia's strict new voter restrictions. They're changing voting laws, then they're just going straight up Jim Crow. First of all, there were no restrictions. Now, I actually took the time to read probably about 80 pages of the 90-page bill. Do you know that when you hear in the news that what they've done is they have cut down places where you can drop ballots at ballot boxes, the drop-off points? No, they didn't. They didn't at all. They just established the numbers. That's all Georgia did. During the pandemic, because everybody had leeway to put as many as they wanted out anywhere, all Georgia did was say, let's find some uniformity to this. And in fact, they told highly populated areas, Fulton County where Atlanta is, maybe over Columbus, Georgia, hey, if you have issues, if you need more drop boxes, you can get, all you have to do is file some paperwork, we'll get you the supplies. And in fact, for high density areas, which by the way are overwhelmingly African American, we're giving you extra tools even if you have lines that build up. If you have lines that build up to be over an hour long, we will immediately assist you with allowing you to open up other voting polls where people can go and vote. That whole deal with Georgia, by the way, is one of the biggest scams that the biggest lies that the media has told so far this year. I mean, it's still early. What month is it? April. And so in looking at like what the MLB did, similar to Las Vegas Raiders signaling that they give a damn about George Floyd, hey, come buy my sweet uniform, the MLB pulls out of Atlanta because, again, of what they call restrictive voting laws in Georgia. Well, what's the MLB going to do in other states where stricter voting laws have existed far longer than Georgia's? And the answer is nothing. They're not going to do a thing. Where did they move to, by the way? Denver, Colorado. A population that has a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of the African Americans in their state and city compared to Georgia, where you just literally pulled the carpet out from underneath a bunch of black business owners and screwed them. But yeah, it looks good, doesn't it? And they get to sell, hey, we're the MLB. We stand with you. Look at all of our hashtags. Come buy our fire extinguishers. Come buy our building materials to replace your building. Why? Because we tweet. Hashtag BLM. Phone number is 239-479-5592. Let me get to a call before we take a break here. What's up, Jay and Immokalee?
Hey, how's it going?
All right.
I got a different perspective on this. Say George Floyd was what? He was a rapist. He had committed a robbery.
I'm sorry, was George Floyd convicted of rape?
No, he was, from the internet, from the stories that I saw, that he had broken into a woman's house and had maybe...
I don't know anything about that, but I'm just, where are you going with this? Go ahead.
Okay, so he was a drug dealer. Fentanyl, which is the worst drug dealer you could ever have. So how many kids and how many children, how many 20-year-old people, if he's a drug dealer with fentanyl, do you think he's killed? And how many do you think, if he was alive today, he would have killed going further?
Look, I see what you're getting at, but what we did though that upsets people is when you compartmentalize. And in the United States of America, the way that the justice system works is that there was an arrest of Chauvin and a trial, and that's the way that the justice system works, whether or not we agree with it or not. I would say that people who are upset that have either, texted in or called in about the way that the justice system work would probably have a different opinion if the court went a different way from what they thought.
Well, I'm not upset about what happened because
did he deserve to die? Like, I'm just trying to get to what you're.
No, I'm just saying he didn't deserve to die. But what they said also is, I think when I was watching the trial, is that he'd already consumed so much fentanyl on his own that he'd probably been dead in 30 minutes on his own in the first place.
Yeah. So I have been very open about this, and I don't think that callers have, which is, I read quite a bit. I mean, part of my job, right, coming on this program every day is to consume as much information as possible and know as much as I possibly could. But I didn't sit there for 3 weeks in the jury. I didn't see what was presented with specificity as to the amount of fentanyl in his system, nor do I say that I'm any kind of an expert on judging what's enough to kill a man or not. The jury came to the decision that they did, and it's crazy to me, by the way. I want to observe just two things that have happened today. I gave just my political assessment without getting political or loving on or hating on Trump in any way, right? My political assessment comes from a few years in politics, a few years of being a political animal and on all sides of it, of being in it, being a candidate, but also being a TV news reporter, being the a-hole with the microphone in front of politicians. So I give my assessment on that, which is non-political, not hating on or loving Donald Trump, and then giving my assessment of the way that the jury came to its decision. And again, I do think that a great example of just simply trying to illustrate the way they came to their decision is using that example again of a car accident and what we would deem manslaughter here in the state of Florida. If you're in a regular, run-of-the-mill car accident, you kill someone, you could still be punished for that. whether or not you like that or not. It's an entirely different type of punishment if you're blowing through red lights and doing 65 in a 35. And that last part is the way that the jury decided that Chauvin would not be culpable simply for manslaughter, that there was more to it. That's what they decided. So I give my assessments on this, and Ian as well. I've got some texts and streams about what a terrible person you are.
Oh, I am,
Ian.
absolutely.
Because you agreed with the jury that you suck. So
okay.
So here's my question: should I fire Ian here? Right. I will be very honest. I could not do the show with either one of these two here with me. Not only do they run the show, but they're like my security blankets. I'm dead serious about that. It doesn't change the fact, though, that you are a liberal a-hole, Ian.
I haven't been called that in a long time.
Yeah, liberal.
Cool.
That's what.
That's nice.
There's some dude, I don't even know where it was. Somebody who said they shut.
I read the law. I watched the video. I used to do it. I understand it.
God forbid that you have experience.
I have an opinion. If I was on that jury based on everything I saw, I would have been okay with it.
May I read what you wrote?
There is one thing real quick.
All right.
You cannot look at Florida's murder statutes. They're totally different.
Yeah.
And
Totally.
I made that mistake myself. Theirs are written, you can get second-degree murder there without walking out the door that morning wanting to kill that person. It's a little different in Florida. So please just read the laws from that state.
Read the laws.
And then look at the video.
Why am I going to take my time?
I also said earlier, I think they overcharged a little bit on the two rookies. So, I mean, maybe I'm a damn conservative for that.
Yeah,
So
you are a
I'm
conservative.
trying to equal it out.
Clearly, you hate black people. You're a racist.
Yeah.
And you're a liberal.
Yeah, and if that last guy, if he's so worried about Floyd's past and he's worried about all the people Floyd might have hurt in the past, I'm worried about all the people that officer that's overly aggressive might have hurt in the past. I mean, he is murderous, isn't he?
Floyd passed a $20 counterfeit bill, so he deserved to die in his own piss.
Come on.
Give me a break. All right. If you need fire, Trey Radel here for Acme Fire Extinguishers. If your city is burning down, go ahead and give us a call at Acme Fire Extinguishers, acmefireextinguishers.com. And we promise you today that every purchase that you make will donate $1 to BLM, and you'll get this fancy new sticker on the side of our fire extinguisher, #BLM. I'm Trey Radel. I smother people at the hospice. Trey Radel, you're host of The Drive. Be right back.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
This is Greg, owner of Tropical Generator. And when I started my generator business 17 years ago, I made it a priority to focus on reliability. Generators are a lot like fire extinguishers. Hopefully, you never have to use it. But when you do, it better perform flawlessly. There are a lot of competitors out there whose only goal is to separate you from your money. Whether the generator actually performs in an emergency, well, that's not really a concern. Instead of taking a big risk on a cheap fire extinguisher, call Tropical Generator today for a reliable generator system. I offer you 17 years of experience doing expert generator installations, a 4-year degree in electrical engineering, and the highest level Florida licenses in electrical and gas contracting. I also live in Fort Myers and have personally selected and trained every one of our employees. At Tropical Generator, we're big enough to help and small enough to care. Call today, 239-206-4509 or tropicalgenerator.com. That's 239-206-4509 or on the web at tropicalgenerator.com. License EC 13007873.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshares. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, well, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder and CEO of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. And the process started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. Timeshare is the only thing that you can buy that you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check to fill out any amount they want for annual maintenance and assessment fees. Sounds crazy, right? Well, the crazy thing is, this never ends. Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. I guarantee if we can't cancel your timeshare, you'll pay nothing.
Were you lied to when buying a timeshare and want out? Get the facts about timeshare cancellation. Call Wesley now for your free information kit. 800-501-3939. 800-501-3939. 800-501-3939.
Are you suffering from knee, ankle, shoulder, back, or neck pain? It may be osteoarthritis or degenerative joint disease, a common cause of chronic joint pain. Join Nick Gannam from Physicians Rehabilitation every Saturday morning at 6 a.m. and learn major advancements in how you can treat these painful conditions. You'll learn how new treatments can provide immediate pain relief without any surgery, utilizing visco supplementation and cutting-edge stem cell treatment. Tune in this Saturday morning at 6 or call their office at 687-2165 and online at physiciansrehab.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle Lee with Lee Auto Group. We want your car, truck, van, or SUV today. We are paying top dollar for clean vehicles. Before you sell or trade, call Lee Auto Group to get the most money for your car. Lee Auto Group, lee-cars.com. Don't forget the dash.
Lee Auto Group is looking for quality pre-owned vehicles. Let them make your buying or selling experience easy and safe. Contact Lee Auto Group at 239-288-7374 or visit lee-cars.com.
Don't forget the dash. You know what you want to do in retirement, but do you know how to get there? Tune in to Retire with TriFound with the TriFound Financial Team. Saturday mornings at 8 and Sundays at noon to get answers to your retirement planning questions. Plan today so you can do the things you've always dreamt about doing in retirement. Don't miss Retire with TriFound, Saturday mornings at 8 and Sundays at noon. Insurance products offered through TriFound Financial, LLC.
Trey Radel is on 92.5 Fox News.
By the way, a thank you to Corey from the Cape Texting. The one caller I think was actually referring to the person guy, I can't even keep up with this, in Wisconsin. That guy who was shot while getting into his car trying to drive away, or actually had a knife or a gun under the floorboard there, under the floor mat. That was in Kenosha, Wisconsin, and that man had been accused of rape, of beating his girlfriend, and doing so right in front of the kids. Look, that also shows like how easily we can all, like I get it mixed up sometimes. I'm supposed to know each and every case and each and every detail without missing a beat, but there's a lot that the media is throwing at us these days, and it is undoubtedly tough to keep up with. But I say that too because when we want to sit here and pass judgment on what a jury watched and then deliberated over, do you have faith in the system? And my answer to that is it depends on how you wanted the outcome to be. Trey Radel, 27 after the 6 o'clock hour here right now. If you're looking for any construction material during the season of riots, give us a call. What happened? That's it. We're going to take a break. Hey, we're going to have Fort O'Connell up next, everybody. No more commercials from Acme Fire Extinguishers, #BLM or anything like that. We'll be right back. This is The Drive.
This is 92.5 Fox
Why wait
News.
for so-called one-time refund relief from big insurance companies when you can get the